Assad, welcome to another Lil Think. It's kind of a medium think, if you really think about it in terms of word count, but we're going to take a look at the newly added patch notes for Operation Danny Phantom, coming probably tomorrow, and the reasoning I have for that is this tweet that was made a while ago on the Rainbow Six account talking about the Pro League team skins, which will, quote, vanish like a phantom on June 11th. I can't imagine why they would, but use your imagination. So last chance to get seasonal skins and stuff like that, naturally. Anyway, there have been some changes done in the past week on the TS. I haven't talked about them, mainly operator changes. Let's take a look. Stealth Gauge. Vigil's Cloak and Caveira's Sneak and Steppers use the same new gauge behavior system that we've introduced with Knuckles. So all three abilities can be activated at any time. That means when the bar refills to 20%, you can reactivate it. So that's on Knuckles, Obito, and Knife. Not on Warden, because why would we do that? Frost Hatter Snappy Boy is reduced from 100 HP to 66 HP. Kind of dumb, in my opinion. Frost rewards players for catching people completely unaware. It's a binary trap. I don't think this change is going to do anything, really, because you can destroy Frost mats faster. That's great. But the chances are, if you look down and you saw it, you were either A, making a deliberate decision to destroy it in the first place as you went in, or B, you just happen to notice it and then you shot it out. And if you happen to notice it, sometimes if you react fast enough, you can get rid of it. I think this change is going to account for those instances, but the more of the chances in which this gadget works take place when someone just isn't paying attention at all. So in that case, a smaller amount of health isn't really going to do anything, and it's not going to change anything with double mats either. So this is kind of an inconsequential change in my opinion. I believe you can destroy them with breaching charges though. If you put the breaching charge in the barricade and blow it when it's under a window, it will get rid of it. Kaed had his barbed wire swapped out for a nitro cell. By adding the C4 to his loadout, we hope to make him more versatile and to up his pick rate. I don't know why Ubisoft is so obsessed with pick rates of characters in a non-competitive environment, because the statistics that they're looking at are not reflective of a population of players that know how to play operators like Kaed. Kaed having a low pick rate in ranked doesn't say anything about his usefulness. He is still a very good anchor. He's just expensive and not as enticing or forgiving to newer players, so that's why his pick rate is low. His guns are less appealing to inexperienced players. He has an SMG that, isn't really that good of a fragging weapon, that doesn't have an ACOG. His gadget has a skill cap. I thought he was perfectly fine with barbed wire because he can shock it. It encouraged creativity. You could deny drones with it. This is an unnecessary change in my opinion. At least he keeps his impact grenades, so you can keep your utility if you want to run the AUG instead of the shoddy. But we have enough nitros in this game, man. I really don't get the point in this at all. If you're shocking wire, you're already giving up 2 reinforced walls or a hatch. So it was an okay trade-off. Whatever you be, you do you. Pulse had the swap time of his beeping box cut down just a little bit. Quote, it'll make it a bit more appealing and comfortable to use during a round. Following community feedback on the change, we feel that 0.65 seconds is a good middle ground. So Pulse switches out of his gadget a little bit faster now. The original change that he had was stupid broken. I saw Macy and Snake Nabe were just on kids with it. We'll see if that remains the course. I personally feel that his gadget was fine. It's not really for fragging as much as it is for intel anyway. But I might play Pulse a little bit more after this change to see if he's any more fun. Twitch got more recoil for her FAMAS. I think Yubi is getting ready to take away the ACOG from this thing completely. They should just rip the band-aid off already, in my opinion. This gun has had its recoil pattern changed so many times, and every time, good players have learned that new spray pattern and done just fine with it. Remember that Buck was still getting competitive play back when his C8 had ridiculous recoil. So good players are going to keep using it, because Twitch's utility is just really good. I think people put way too much weight on taking away ACOGs in terms of balance. I think there are some operators that definitely don't need it, like Maestro. I think an operator like Maestro would go from S tier to A tier if he had it taken away, and I'd be okay with it. I think the same thing applies to Twitch, but if you're gonna take it away, Yubi needs to fix the 417. This gun is useless. I think that Twitch should have an alternative, like Ash has an alternative with the G36, but she won't have any alternatives pretty soon by the looks of things, and that's unfortunate. Sound propagation still sucks. Nothing new there. Exploits. What we have here is the glitches with claymores, deployables, and clash are still a thing, but in order for us to get to play them on live builds soon, in order to take them out of quarantine, Ubi is adding failsafes, which in English means if you do the thing, it'll cancel out, call your mama, tell her how much you've been misbehaving. It's not gonna do that last part. It was a joke. I wish it did. This is cool, but still, to me, is indicative of how crappy the engine is, and I still feel really bad for the devs, but I get the feeling corporate just isn't paying attention at this point. Maybe they're just busy with E3. But the glitch is still there. It's just effectively useless. Is it the same as a fix? No, but we get our claymores back, so whatever, man. I'm still lost on this loadout change they've done to Nook and Warden. As soon as Warden loses these impacts, he's going to lose so much utility for basically no reason at all. Enjoy the MPX meta now while you can, I guess. Nook with stun grenades also suits her kit, but who cares, right? Anyway, there were a whole bunch of bug fixes too, and that's the patch notes. So if you want to read the fine print, you can check out the link in the descriptione. Check out the socials, y'all. Check out my Twitch, and I will see you all in Operation Phantom Corporate Oversight. Deuces.